Before beginning a subtopic, it can be very helpful to read the scope card and think about your prior knowledge. This scope card states, in this subtopic, you will learn how scientists use predictions from observation to help them in their research. Think about what you may already know about scientists, predictions, observation, and research. Choosing any Show Again time loads the next flashcard. I'll click Show Again today to keep the scope card in my deck for later and reveal the next flashcard. New students often ask what they need in order to answer the flashcard questions. Paper, pencils, a text box to type into? The answer is nothing but your mind. At Free World U, the flashcard questions are specially constructed for you to answer in your mind as you read them. Please do not use the feedback link to answer questions. You only need to answer the questions in your mind, though you may say them aloud if your environment permits it. Answering questions in your mind is quick and keeps you focused. If you have to stop to write an answer, your mind stops thinking about the subject and diverts some of its attention to your penmanship, your paper, even the place where you are writing. The only way to have an answer is to think of one. Then you just need to decide if you were correct or not. This also forces your mind to actively engage in what you are trying to learn. Make sure you read the question carefully and understand what is being asked. Then formulate your answer if you can. If you don't know the answer, simply click Show Answer. Turn your flashcard back and forth from question to answer and back until the question-answer pair makes sense. When new and potential students are first exploring Free World U, they often want to know what to do if they don't know the answers to a subtopic's flashcards. First, it is very important to remember that the flashcards at Free World U are teaching tools. They are teaching you information that you don't already know. So it is expected that you will not know the answer the first time you view many of the flashcards. If you knew the answer to every flashcard the first time you viewed it, you would not need to be in this grade level. When you turn to the answer side of a flashcard, think about whether or not the answer makes sense to you. If it makes sense, even if you did not know the answer on your own, choose a Show Again time and move to the next flashcard. If you find that the provided answer is confusing, choose Show Again today and continue onward to the next flashcards. Still feeling confused? Reset the subtopic to bring back the cards you have already eliminated. Maybe you didn't understand one quite as well as you thought. In a few minutes, we'll talk about how to reset flashcards. If you have continued through the next flashcards in the subtopic, reset your subtopic and reviewed the earlier flashcards, and you find you're still confused, the next step is to go back to an earlier grade level and look for similar material. Do not hesitate to go back to earlier grades. This is one of the greatest benefits of Free World U. In a traditional school, if you needed to review material from an earlier grade, you would likely have to stay after school or give up some of your free time to get tutoring. You or the teacher would have to search for appropriate material. You may even have to pay for the tutoring or buy extra books. At Free World U, this tutoring is built in and ready the moment you need it. We all have strengths and weaknesses. When you encounter a subject that is particularly challenging, you may want to go back several grade levels, even to kindergarten, and work your way back up through. Under many navigation bar menus, you will find links to the keyword search that can be used to find similar material at earlier grade levels. It is very important you make sure you don't have gaps in your learning, and the best way to do this is to go back to earlier material whenever you are confused. This is why we have laid out our entire program in a way that is easy for everyone to access. And the keyword search is an efficient way to find supplemental material. To begin a search, click in the text box and type your keyword or phrase into the box. Be very careful with your spelling. Once you have entered your keyword or phrase, click the down arrow to open a pull-down menu. Use this menu to select where you would like to search for your keyword or phrase. We had been looking at a second grade science subtopic and wish to look for similar material at an earlier level, so I'll choose to search in elementary school flashcards. Once your search location is chosen, click the Search button. The Free World U Search returns a listing of all pages matching your search criteria. We searched for the keyword observation in elementary school flashcards, so this list represents all elementary school flashcards that contain our keyword. Mousing over a result produces a breadcrumb for that flashcard. This helps you decide whether or not to open the flashcard. This breadcrumb shows exactly what we are looking for, a definition of observation at a grade level prior to second grade. I'll click on the text to open this flashcard. I'll click Show Answer to see how observation is defined in first grade. In first grade, observation is defined as using your 5 senses to get information. That makes a lot of sense to me. So now I'm ready to return to the second grade subtopic where I felt confused. From the flashcard index, I'll select second grade science and choose the subtopic I had been working in, predictions from observation, under the topic investigation and experimentation. Because I had chosen show again times for the prior flashcards in this subtopic, the flashcard on which I experienced confusion is at the top or number 1 position of the flashcard deck. I'll turn to the answer side now to see if what I learned from the first grade flashcard will now help me understand this one. The answer to this flashcard states that an observation is the act of noting and recording an event that happens using the 5 senses. Remember, the first grade flashcard defined observation as using your 5 senses to get information. Both definitions state that you use your 5 senses to make an observation, and I know about my 5 senses, so I'm comfortable with that part of the definition. The first grade flashcard had stated that you use your 5 senses to get information. This flashcard says they are used in the act of noting and recording an event that happens. That's where I think I'm confused. So I'm going to think about each part of the definition and how that might relate to getting information. Noting means to carefully notice, and record means to write down or document another way, such as with a picture or video. So if I'm observing, I'm noticing and writing down or taking pictures of what happens. This definition is similar to the first grade definition. It just provides more detail about how you get information. I'm comfortable with the definition now. But since I was confused earlier, I'm going to choose Show Again today to keep the flashcard in my subtopic deck as I move to the next flashcard. When I'm finished with this subtopic, I'll have the chance to see if I'm still comfortable.